Okay, what's happening, everybody? It's me, your boy, Krusty Krab 357, coming back at you with some more hashtag Splatoon 2. That sounded so dumb. Alright, yes, welcome back to Matt Speedquids. And back doing what I said I'd do last time. I'm going to do a bit of a longer form speedrun that isn't just an individual level. But before I do that, I actually have a little bit of a correction to make. Last time I said one of the levels I had a world record on was this level right here, J05/C14, Stick and Move Station. Well, as happens in very new speedrun categories, my world record was beaten actually the day after I recorded that. My original world record was I'm just going to leave off milliseconds, but oh yeah, I forgot. Speedrun.com doesn't tell you former level personal bests. I think it was somewhere around a 113. You can double check if you actually go to my YouTube channel, which will be linked in the description. But yeah, it got absolutely just destroyed by someone who actually knew what they were doing. Probably because they took some strategies that were already being used in the any 100% world record for this category. Yeah, the person with the current world record has a 1 minute dead on and 467 milliseconds. But I have improved my own personal best. I'm 1 minute, 1 second, and 600 milliseconds. Have not been able to find that extra over a second at this point that I need to be able to at least get close to the current world record, but that's what happened to me with the first level A01, which I do currently hold the world record on, still, at least for now. But yeah, it's just a very new category. Stuff changes hands all the time, especially when, relatively speaking, I'm still pretty inexperienced when it comes to this. So for today, I'm going to be doing what's called the Line A RTA. So, some explanations. In Splatoon 2, the Octo expansion DLC, as you can see, it's a metro. And just to show you around, it's a giant train station, essentially. And the groups of levels, rather than being divided into worlds like they are in a lot of games, or even in the base game, are divided more into these lines, because it's just a giant metro system. And the one that I have done, and I did want at one point hold the world record for, but that was just because I was the first person to set a time. It was very handily beat later on, is Line A, which are these groups of levels, A01 all the way down to A08. My former world record doesn't matter. It was trash. It was over 13 minutes. But I currently do hold second place with a 11 minutes and 26 seconds. And that's a decent bit of time, which is why my plan is I'd like to go through this twice. Once in sequential order from A01 to A08, and then once in reverse sequential order. Bit of a warning, I probably should have done a little practice beforehand, but I'm not trying to set a new personal best here. So I'm not going to be taking it as seriously as I otherwise would, so I'm kind of guessing these will optimally be around the 12 to 12 and a half minute mark, if I'm lucky. But, yeah. So let's just get into it, I suppose, and I can discuss a little bit more into it as we go. And like an idiot, I didn't do the one thing I'm supposed to, which is the timer starts when you select the first level. Go back to the train and do it again. So, RTA, what does that mean? Alright, starting the timer in 3, 2, 1, let's go. So RTA, what does that mean? It stands for real-time attack, or real-time attempt. Basically, it's doing everything in a speedrun all in one single session. And when most people today think of speedruns, they are thinking of this, an RTA. It was an old term designed to differentiate from segmented runs, where you would do everything in segments and kind of patch them together to get like a what if you could get everything perfect. Those are a valid form of speedrunning. They're, so long as they're, you know, you're not, oh damn it. Tell you what, we're so early on in this. What if we just restarted? I'll try to not do that again, but that was a very stupid mistake on my part. So as I was saying, segmented runs are they're a valid form of speedrunning so long as you make them well known, that they aren't a full-on, hey, this is something I actually did all in one go. But it's just not very popular anymore. It used to be a lot more common in the old days of speedrunning. And I'm not saying that like I'm some expert on speedrunning or anything. That's mostly stuff I've gotten from YouTube videos and the like. So, another question you might have is why this particular set of levels? And that's because these are the only this is the only full complete set of levels you will do in a full any % speedrun for the Octo Expansion DLC. So that's kind of why it's a little bit more of a popular thing, because people have familiarity with it. In comparison to any of the other random ones, which you generally, most of the levels in this game, you aren't going to play in an any % run, unless you're doing, in an any % run, you'd only play them if you're doing 100%, which I don't do, and I probably never will. Yeah, these load times get you. If I was a smart boy, I'd probably try to see whether that's on my, change this from my SD card to my internal memory, depending on which one it's on, because I actually don't know off the top of my head. One of them loads faster. But I'm not, oh damn it. I'm not exactly at the skill level yet that matters. That was a very stupid mistake. That's going to cost me a ton of time. But hey, it doesn't matter, as long as there's no other really stupidly massive mistakes. Yeah, this level's pretty easy, straightforward. It got a lot easier when I realized the fastest way to go about it, because it's actually what the world record holders do. And this is a very popular level that's been getting a lot of new world records set, and it's always only been shaving a few milliseconds off each time. But I used to go straight down the center, which is actually way riskier, and has a lot of potential to get slowed down massively. Here, we come to some of the least favorite levels in, well, the entire game, just in a casual setting and in a speedrun. These 8-ball levels, because you have to shoot them forward and get them to where you want to go. And if they fall off the map at any time, you are dead. And as you can see here, I'm getting dangerously close to that. But it's fine. I've had so many runs of this and on these levels. It's ridiculous. And here we come to one of the really technical tricks that I can't explain. This is called the, what is it? It's called the seesaw skip. So in this level, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to shoot the 8-ball into here, triggers an elevator, and it'll have a giant balloon you can shoot. That's very slow. It takes a lot of time. Instead, you will pop in wait for that seesaw to get to a certain point and just shoot it over. And I was really worried that was gonna fall off and kill me there. But I guess I've just done this enough. I've gotten used to it. So, yeah, I actually, since I did my first set of speedrun videos, I have actually started to do full game runs. And, and who knows, maybe one day I'll do one of those for the channel. But the problem is, those are super long, and my current personal best is like 1 minute, 35 seconds, 1 hour, 35 minutes, 34 seconds. And unlike, me doing, oh, that was very stupid of me. Unlike me doing, a set of levels and having it be nice and simple, where there's easy places to start one video or stop one video and start a new one. There's no good places where you could theoretically divide it. There we go. That was another major mistake that's going to cost me. Hopefully, when I do the second run of this, it'll be much nicer. It won't be as bad. Won't be making as many mistakes. This is a level that I don't like, because it's the one level where you actually have to fight AI opponents, and the AI in this game is very stupid, which is not a good thing because it makes them a bit harder to deal with. Run in, you shoot, throw a grenade or whatever. Come land over here, pop them, done. Oh, cool. I actually hit him with the grenade. Wasn't expecting that. Well, at least some of the time I lost, I'm saving by not having to spend forever fighting these enemies. Wow. This might be the fastest time I've ever gotten to this level. I usually collect that armor because I'm worried about getting hit by the enemy and I don't want to die. But didn't need it. Maybe I should start taking the chance of not doing that. But yeah, at this point, I've done this set of levels so much, I'm willing to take a lot more risks, especially whenever I return to doing full any percent runs, just because I've got a lot more experience that I don't have on other levels. Not just going for that when I really should. This guy's annoying. This next part's annoying, and I think I'm gonna take a risk and try to do the faster method of getting this. And I did it. Alright. Sometimes that might not... You shoot this propeller and it'll move the bounce pad towards you. But you don't want to shoot it too many times or else it'll take forever to come back. And if that happens, it's just a massive time loss. Which, for how short this run is something you really cannot afford. You could afford to lose the maybe 10 to 20 seconds, especially just starting out, that you would lose in a full any percent run of the game. But no, for something like this, it's better to just try to take that risk, because you can always just reset and you're not going to lose, 40 or 50 minutes of your time. So yeah, this level's pretty straightforward. I used to not take chances and not try to skip these gaps. I would go the intended route, and it's way slower. As you can see, this is actually one of the few levels with an in-game timer, but that in-game timer is a countdown, which there are ways to do it, and there are ways to play these levels and calculate your time based on how much time you have at the start, how much time it gives you after each checkpoint. But it's honestly, I don't really just want to spend the time figuring out how much time do I have to add or subtract at the end before I know how long it really took me. So here is another dreaded 8-ball level. And funny enough, the 2 8-ball levels of Line A are the only 8-ball levels of the plenty that are in the game that you actually end up doing in an any percent run. Oh, come on, really? I really would be dumb enough to do that. Oh well. So, here's a little detail I neglected to mention. This particular speedrun, you're allowed to do all of the levels of Line A in any order you want. But, so you don't lose time in menuing, the easiest is really to just either go completely forwards or completely backwards. Which is what I'm doing here. Here is the most annoying part of this level, where the ball gets launched around so many places, and it can be a real pain to get it where you want it, especially near the end. And as you can see right there, you can try to run into it to slow it down, but if you're not lucky, that might not work. At this point, I don't care. I'm just gonna deal with it. And like I said, this is gonna be around 12 minutes, but not that bad. And there we go. 12 minutes, 9 seconds. Not the worst, but also really not the best. Well, so, like I said, I'm gonna do this again. This time in reverse sequential order. So, I know it's gonna be pretty boring, but let's get right back into that exact same level. And 3, 2, 1, let's go. Hopefully this time I won't make the same stupid mistakes I did. Although, I will say, I'm not going to do it tonight, but doing this whole exhibition has actually given me a little bit of passion to try to go back and improve some of my times. Come on, line it up just right. There we go. Oh, this one is already going much, much smoother than the last one. I'm sure there's a faster way of doing this puzzle than this, but for this video, doing it this way is just fine. Oh, I do not want to hit those bumpers. It will knock the ball clean off this map. wonder what the world record is for this level. I've never actually checked. Aha, now we've got it going. This should be a little bit faster, since I'm not wasting time trying to stop it. No, don't go back. There we go. I used to do this speedrun with my, instead of just that little timer in the corner, I used to do it where I'd actually have this run split and individually time each level so I could tell if I was losing or gaining time. I then just got tired of having to deal with that and just decided, I'll use a timer. Just use a regular old timer in the corner. Which is what you will notice if you go back and actually check out my old speedruns. Yeah, I think there might be, I don't know. There's several things I think I'm probably doing differently that I didn't do in my current personal best. The main problem is the current world record for this run is 11 minutes 8 seconds. And I have to somehow find around 20 seconds if I want to beat that. Because I think mine is an 11:20 something. I think an 11:26. I probably said it earlier and I just don't remember. There we go. Well, we've got about another 9 minutes. Let me try to find something interesting to talk about. I'll be honest, struggling to come up with something. As I've said before, I'm a very boring man. I guess I could talk a little bit about Splatoon 1. I've been playing that recently because, like I said in the first video, I'm just kind of fascinated by going back and delving into the history of games and series that I love. And Splatoon is no exception. It's just cool to see what it was originally. And the first game is very annoying because it does not have in-game timers, which means you have to manually time your levels, which at least now I have some experience with. But those levels don't have a nice, simple little easy start point. Oh, no. See, that's what I was talking about earlier. That might not go, that platform sometimes doesn't go far enough. But it's a risk you gotta take when you're trying to get world. Yeah, it just barely has enough. I will say, this game really feels like they took the time and effort to add in stuff that speedrunners would really appreciate and enjoy. Oh, I hate this. I hate having my armor broken. You're so slow. Well, this one might not be that much better than the first because of that. Because that cost me quite a bit of time. Generally speaking, if I was actually doing this in a legitimate attempt, the run would be over. The moment that first mistake happened, done, I would just stop. Wouldn't even try. And that's because, for me personally, it's short enough that, yeah, it sucks that I would have lost about 5 minutes of time, but I also kind of... Oh, damn it. Don't care enough. Like, maybe one day I'll get to a point where I'm doing, like, full any percent runs and just giving up after a certain period after a failed attempt, but I'm not at that point yet. Oh, this damn enemy. I'm actually kind of angry about that. That they kept doing nothing but shooting at me. Didn't have any time to react. I couldn't regain my ink. Because they just kept doing nothing but inking the ground underneath me. That was actually really annoying. That's why I hate the AI. It is so dead simple. They will just lock onto you and aim at where you are. And they get really annoying with it because it's so stupid that, I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's a level of so stupid that it almost becomes smart. Because an enemy that's just, the AI is just, you know, so above your level that it will just immediately kill you is one thing. But this is AI that kills you because it's stupid. It just, there's no real strategy to it, just very run up towards you and start shooting at you and hoping that it works. I guess it's kind of like a fighting game almost, like how you expect a real person to do this, and when the bot is so stupid that it doesn't, it really throws you for a loop. That's how it feels fighting the AI in this game. Yeah, this run's not going to be that great. If I'm already at 8 minutes right now, I don't know. The next one, the last few levels are relatively short, but this 8-ball station's really going to make or break this run if I die at any point during it or have any other major problems. The beginning of this level is super annoying because they put that enemy at the far right on top of that wall. Super annoying because they have a tendency to do exactly what he's trying to do. Shoot the ball away from you and make it fall all the way down the ramp. And if that happens, kiss your run goodbye. Your best bet, not even give these guys the chance to do anything to you. Oh, I shot it too much. Oh well. Ooh, that was scary. Yeah, you gotta wait till you can see it go down right about then. And I have been able to get the 8-ball up here and then miss that jump, and it's its own level of frustrating. Alright, if I'm already reaching 10 minutes right now, this next level should take me around, excluding load times, 35 seconds, and maybe a minute 3, a minute 4 for the next one. I don't know. I want to say somewhere close to, assuming I don't make any other big errors, close to 12 and a half, 12:45, somewhere. I could obviously be very wrong. I'm very, very rough estimations, but I'm also just trying to include load times into this. Also, the nice thing about this run is you get to skip all these annoying cutscenes. Yeah, I used to hate this level because it used to be a run killer for me. Until I saw what people were doing for the world record, which was just take this little side path instead of going head on. And as you can see, the AI just gets a lock on you. It doesn't matter if the AI can't reasonably hit you. They'll go for it anyway. And it becomes a major problem of them not hitting you, but constantly inking the ground at your feet so you can't move. Ah, level A01. I used to hate this level, because it used to be like a barrier. I could never get good enough at this level in my line A RTAs like I'm doing now to set any decent times. And I would die so much, but at this point, I have so much experience from playing it enough that I have a world record that this level is a piece of cake. I used to hate this level, but I love it now. I know all of its ins and outs. And at the very least, the time that I have shaved off from knowing how to get world record on this stage, it might help me improve my personal best for the line A RTA. Also, that jump that I just did, extremely possible. And there we go, 12:25. I was not far off, was my estimate. But yeah, it is possible to like hit that first speedway and not hit the second one. Very easy to do that. Done it many times. So there you go. That's the video. I did, like I said, I wanted to do this twice in a row. Once forward, once backward. What did I get? A 12:09 on the first run? Something close to that. Not that great. Still, you know, a good over 30, over nearly 40, I think actually over 40 seconds over my personal best. Which in a run this short, only 11 minutes, that's not the best. But like I said, we weren't really going for any new personal bests or new world records or anything with this. It was more just, I like showcasing this. I like showing people this is what it looks like. Splatoon 2 is genuinely probably my favorite multiplayer game. And when I started speedrunning it, it helped breathe some new life into it. And if you're interested in it, I would suggest looking it up on speedrun.com. If you have this game, maybe you could try it out yourself. It's pretty easy. In fact, you actually don't need any recording equipment. If you set runs, as long as it's not a tied world record, you don't even need video proof. You can literally screenshot the time at the end of the level for your personal best. And even for a tied world record, the little 30-second switch clip you can do, you can upload one of those to Twitter and that'll count so long as you have the last 25 seconds of the in-game timer. If you want to do Octo expansion stuff, well, if you want to do individual levels for that, you are going to need to be able to record. Unless you do one of those weird levels that's like literally 10 seconds long and you can record the entire thing in a switch clip. Those exist. There's not many of them, and good luck trying to beat any records on those. They're pretty heavily optimized. But even if you want to do full game runs, you actually don't need video proof until you reach certain time thresholds. You can literally just submit a picture of your timer. But I think that's gonna be it for this video to wrap it up. If you want to see more from Brennan and his friends and the rest of us, hit that subscribe button, check us out, watch the new videos as they come out. Since Brennan's doing that little soft reboot thing of the channel, if you're interested in seeing more from me, I go by the alias King Krab Speedruns. King_Krab. I probably should have said that at the beginning, but whatever. As long as I said it, it's fine. In the description, you can check out my speedrun.com account, which has my current best times for all of the stuff that I do. You can check out my Twitter, which is mostly me talking about my new personal bests. And you can check out my YouTube channel, King Krab Speedruns. Word of warning, they're not commentated like these are. They are just the runs in their entireties. But I've got a lot of stuff. You can actually see my previous personal bests when I first got recording equipment, see me slowly grind my times down. And if you want to see what a full game run looks like, I've done a couple of those. Word of warning, my personal best is, like I said, an hour 35 minutes. But yeah, if you're interested, check me out. And with that, I think we're gonna call it here. See you all in the next one, everyone. Hopefully I'll do one of these again. And with that, I am out.